Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy ramped up his desire for a more muscular and mighty Europe as he addressed the Munich Security Conference on Saturday. According to Associated Press, Zelenskyy has sought greater military and economic support from the European Union for years and repeatedly warned that other parts of Europe could be vulnerable to Russia's expansionist ambitions too. While the bloc, along with the United States, has been one of Kiev's strongest backers, pockets of political disagreement in EU over its approach to Moscow and economic realities, including national debt levels that have crimped defense spending, have gotten in the way of greater support. America will not offer guarantees unless Europe's own guarantees are strong, the Ukrainian president said. Zelensky alluded to a phone conversation between Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin this week, after which Trump said he and Putin would likely meet soon to negotiate a peace deal over Ukraine, breaking with the Biden administration's harder line against Moscow over Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine in 2022. Trump later assured Zelensky that he, too, would have a seat at the table to end the war. The Ukrainian leader insisted Europe should have won too. Ukraine will never accept deals made behind our backs without our involvement, and the same rule should apply to all of Europe, Zelensky said. He argued Putin was seeking direct talks with Trump with the eventual aim of inviting him to Moscow in May as a prop for Victory Day celebrations.
And with involvement from American businesses, and Ukraine will never accept deals made behind our backs without our involvement. And the same rule should apply to all of Europe. No decisions about Ukraine without Ukraine, no decisions about Europe without Europe. Look at what Putin is trying to do now. This is his game. Putin wants one-on-one talks with America. Just like before the war, when they met in Switzerland and looked like to carve up the world. Next, Putin will try to get the US president standing on Red Square on May 9th this year, not as a respected leader, but as a prop in his own performance. We don't need that. We need real success. We need real peace. And I do not believe in security guarantees without America. Yes, it will be just weak, but America will not offer guarantees unless Europe's own guarantees are strong. And I also will not take NATO membership for Ukraine off the table. But right now, the most influential member of NATO seems to be Putin, because his whims have the power to block NATO decisions. There have already been provocations on the Polish and Lithuanian borders with
NATO Secretary-General Mark Rutte called for Europe to get organized and prepare to take part in peace talks between Russia and Ukraine. That means ongoing military support, ongoing in terms of weapons deliveries and ongoing training support to Ukraine, but also that there is large-scale agreements that whenever a deal is done, that deal is durable, is lasting, that Putin will never again try to catch a square mile of Ukraine, Rutte said, speaking at the Munich Security Conference. To the European allies again, make sure that the training is there, the staff is there, the military gear, but also come up with the plans, create the facts, engage in the debates, he added. According to Associated Press, the future of Ukraine is the top item on the agenda at the Munich Security Conference following a phone call between US President Donald Trump and Russian leader Vladimir Putin this week, when they pledged to work together to end the 3-year-old Russia-Ukraine conflict. Trump's musings have left Europeans in a quandary, wondering how, or even if, they can maintain the post-World War II security that NATO afforded them or fill the gap in the billions of dollars of security assistance that the Democratic Biden administration provided to Ukraine since Russia's February 2022 invasion. Trump has been highly skeptical of that aid and is expected to cut or otherwise limit it as negotiations get underway in the coming days.
I think there's a general agreement that on Ukraine we have to make sure that they are in the best possible position when peace talks start for them to participate in those talks, and it means ongoing military support, ongoing in terms of weapon deliveries and ongoing training support to Ukraine. But also there is large-scale agreement that whenever a deal is done, that deal is durable, is lasting, that Putin will never again try to catch a square mile of Ukraine. And that means for the European NATO allies that I know they're thinking about is what they can do now to make sure that the training and the military support is continuing, but also post a deal, what the Europeans can do together with others to make sure that that deal is indeed sustained. Can I be very honest about my European friends? I really believe what Europeans have to do now is to come up with the concrete plans. One, to get more military aid into Ukraine. Secondly, to get more training into Ukraine. I know that many initiatives are being thought through, are really already brought on board. But also to think through that whenever the peace deal is done, how European countries, probably together with others, but how the European countries can help there. So create the facts on the ground, create the facts in terms of the plans you are making, and that is the best way to get your part at a table. So I would say do this, that's positive, much better than to think, okay, where are we? So we have here at this moment almost the whole foreign policy team out of the US. So whenever Europeans are saying we want to be consulted, they are here. Munich, last time I checked, is in Europe. They are in Europe, they are consulting here with their European allies. And to the European allies again, make sure that the training is there, the staff is there, the military gear, but also come up with the plans, create the facts, engage in the debate. Really, the Europeans can do that. It has been done before. Can I be very honest about my European friends? I really believe what Europeans have to do now is to come up with the concrete plans. One, to get more military aid into Ukraine. Secondly, to get more training into Ukraine. I know that many initiatives are being thought through, are really already brought on board. But also to think through that whenever the peace deal is done, how European countries, probably together with others, but how the European countries can help there. So create the facts on the ground, create the facts in terms of the plans you are making, and that is the best way to get your part at a table. So I would say do this, that's positive, much better than to think, okay, where are we?